video. We're reviewing the 3 Premier Division matches from the weekend. We've obviously 3 matches just with the European clubs away, Shamrock Rovers and St. Pat's. And we'll get underway with the meeting of Dundalk and Derry in Oriel Park. We're joined with JP and Luke. Lads, how are you?
All right, we'll start with
yeah.
Good stuff. So the match obviously kind of highly anticipated. It was a kind of a tale of the 2 teams kind of taking players off each other over the past few years, and the matches have always kind of been tight and so on. And obviously, it was the game was kind of focused around Mark Connolly making his kind of first kind of start in the league for Derry against his former club. So I'm not too sure that the reception he got from the Dundalk fans. JP was at the match, so he can tell us that there. But overall, a point. I can do very well to squeeze the ball through a few Dundalk players and slot it into the corner on the 12th minute. And Derry were kind of probably happy enough for that there. And Dundalk, they did push for that equaliser, and then of course they got it. Who other than Patrick Hooban in the 93rd minute, and a great ball from Stephen Bradley into the box. And I think it was Connolly who was picking up Hooban, and Hooban got in there with a great header. And I think Keith has mentioned it on the group and all as well, that Hooban's that big game player, and he scores the important goals, and he's there at the right time and so on. So that there puts there's 2 points to share the spoils, and there's two points between the sides, and obviously still 6 points and 6 and 8 points off Shamrock Rovers at the top. Overall thoughts on that there, JP? You're at that there. Obviously Derry will be fairly disappointed to let the lead slip in the last couple of minutes. Do you think were Dundalk kind of valid for the point, or were Derry kind of just letting it go in the last minute?
Well, Derry deserved everything they got, to be honest with you, Josh. They took the lead after 12 minutes. They the rest of the first half, they up to about the 40th minute, they were on top. They had a great chance. Joe Thompson went free 1-on-1 and tried to be smart instead of just going round the keeper and put it in the back of the net. He tried to be smart, or try and dink him or something like that, but it just fell to the wrong person going through on the goalkeeper. He has to be cuter there, Joe. He's tried to go round the keeper, try and chip him or something. Don't try and be too cute. Nathan Shepherd's a class goalkeeper. It was a chance missed, because I think if that goes in, it's game over, even though it's in the first half. But up to about the 40th minute, Derry were the better team. After that, they started to drop. They dropped deep in the final 5 minutes of the first half, and Dundalk had a good chance through Ryan O'Kane on the counter attack, and Maher made a good save, and it was cleared just before somebody followed it in. Second half, Dundalk come out of blocks. Derry didn't really, to be honest with you. But they didn't really create anything the final 10 minutes. For all the possession that they had. Did a couple of scrappy incidents. One, I think it was not from where we were, couldn't quite make out what happened, but it seemed to be blocked, because as soon as the Dundalk player hit it, you thought it was in the net, but all of a sudden it stopped dead, and Maher managed to grab it on the line. And then as the game ticked into 90 minutes, Derry just dropped deeper and deeper. So they did, and they'd been getting deeper and deeper in the entire second half. Higgins made a few subs to try and get them up the pitch a bit, but it didn't work. You're in the 92nd minute, and the ball's up the right end of the pitch as far as you were concerned. McGonigal tries to be clever and backheels the ball and gives it away. And we don't get it back after that. Before the next time we get it back is when it ends up in the back of net. Disappointing, because from that point forward, you think McGonigal's around professional football long enough to know they take it down the line and the corner, hold the ball up, don't try and be clever and play a back heel into Michael Duffy. Especially when it's just the two of you up there against four. There's 4 players around them, in saying that, the ball gets to Stephen Bradley. Derry has to get out quicker. They stand off him. They let him cross it. Now Bradley, I think, was superb. The whole game, he had Cameron McJanet on toast. Higgins made a sub. He brought off a midfielder, put Daniel Lafferty on. Tucked McJanet in, and it kind of worked a wee bit, because then it forced Stephen Bradley to come deeper to get the ball, because he wasn't getting as much time and space on the wing, and unfortunately, him coming deeper. He's got a left foot. You don't let him come inside. We saw that the first game of the season. He came inside and he put one in the bottom corner. Don't let him come inside. Especially don't let him cross the ball. You touched there. Conley was marking Hoban. I don't think anybody was marking Hoban, to be honest. Because Hoban was playing the game where he was just like wandering around, getting the ball, whatever, and getting into the box. So it wasn't really like anybody was marking him. Conley, I think overall he got a good reception. A few touches near the start of the game. There was a few boos, but there wasn't many, to be honest with you. And a draw near. I think if Derry had come out of Oriel Park with 1-1, I think it would have been harsh on Dundalk because I thought they were the better team. Stephen Bradley, from my point of view, was man of match because Dundalk did get back in the game, but I think if Derry had held on, then in my opinion, Mark Conley would have been man of match.
Very good. And then on the other side, then Luke, obviously Dundalk keep that unbeaten record at home intact. Obviously, coming into the match, we were chatting about it in the previous show. Obviously, Derry have been the best away form, and then Dundalk on the other side had the home form, so they'll be happy enough with that there. And even look at the stats from the match. It says here that Dundalk at 73%, as JP was saying. Derry kind of they sat back, and obviously didn't work out for them in the end. Dundalk will be definitely be the happier two sides. And as I mentioned, there's only 6 points in it behind Shamrock Rovers, although Shamrock Rovers have a game in hand. Your thoughts on that area? Obviously Dundalk, if it goes out saying they'll be happier that they got a point out of it in the end.
Yeah, it would probably felt like 3 points for them, to be quite honest. You're losing for the great part of 80 plus minutes. Derry do score quite early. Like it's so they would have been disappointed with their start overall in the game. They've had this record at home of they don't really concede many goals, and the attack that Derry have, they obviously probably would have been disappointed that they conceded so early in the game. But then again, like it's just sort of shows the character, to the sort of the togetherness in the Dundalk squad, like that type of way, that never say die, attitude, and it makes a good team, like, and they are just it's nearly an impossible place to go to at the minute. But Derry had them for 90. They had the game up wrapped, like it was 92nd minute. They're still content. Dundalk are in a position of the pitch where they're not going to score from there. You know what I mean? The ball gets put in then. You know what I mean? And it's been a great header from Hoban. Look, let's not take anything away from the header, but I do think the defending has to be better. You know what I mean? I think Conley's on the back foot there. Like the whole sort of Derry defense were on the sort of back foot there, and you don't give someone like that Hoban the attacking prowess he has, and his striker instincts, you know what I mean. There's no probably better striker in the league at sort of in that sort of position, he's lethal. He's absolutely lethal, and he could go missing for 88 minutes, and it's one ball into the box and he scores. You know what I mean? And it just sort of shows the player he is. But look, I think it's a game that even after Hoban scored, I think Derry had half a chance. You know what I mean? I think both teams did have chances in the game. I think a point is fair enough in the overall game. I actually predicted the right score for this one. I just had a feeling that both teams would cancel each other out, to be honest with you. But yeah, really good game, and looked like a great atmosphere. Two sets of fans who came in great numbers as well, which was really good to see. So yeah, it was the game that it lived up to what we expected. So yeah, really good game, and I think Shamrock Rovers will be the more happier out of the two teams, anyways.
Exactly, yeah, they'll be happy enough that one team didn't come away with the 3 points, and definitely do check out Keith's vlog there.
Rovers' next 2 league games is actually against both of them, so
yeah.
But there is look touched on after Dundalk equalised. Derry had a great chance, free kick in the box that nobody gambled at the back post because Nathan Shepherd misjudged the flight of a ball, and if anybody had gambled, it was 2-1 Derry, because it was right underneath the crossbar.
They are, it could have been a different story at the end, but yeah, no, I was saying there, just check out Keith's vlog there. He has a good vlog up there for the match on Friday night. So yeah, no, definitely worth a watch. So yeah, we'll move on to the match at Finn Park where Harps were 3-0 winners. Obviously their third win of the season over Drogheda United. I was at this match and Luke was watching it on LOI TV. I'll not just say it was a lucky one for Harps. I think they were just kind of Drogheda weren't at it, and it's only Harps. I'm not going to get carried away at all here. It's their 5th win in 39 games, and that goes back to last season. Including the win against Longford at the end of the season and so on. So it's not very good. There's no point getting carried away. It's good to get a win on the board and put 2 points between ourselves and UCD heading into the big match now on Friday. But no, I think Harps. I think it was really the Harps were really kind of the players were allowed to express themselves a bit. There wasn't kind of, well, from what I've seen anyway, there wasn't too many tactics. Obviously getting the penalty early-ish in the match kind of helped. Mihalovic steps up and puts it away. On the 23rd minute, and then just before the break, then obviously Eric McWood's then getting the ball over the top and whatever, and getting her in from Mihalovic, a good assist, and then at the behind or the second half, sorry, it was a great ball in from Regan Donlan, who and McWood's got a second of the match. So yeah, no, Harps will be happy enough for that there. It's good to get a wee bit of positivity, which has kind of been a dark old few months for Harps. Obviously the last one coming back in June from what I can remember, against Shells, though. The 1-0 one, I think it was Barry McNamee. But yeah, no, overall thoughts, Luke. Obviously Drogheda, you were saying with off air there. You thought it was their worst performance of the season. They weren't at it at all, to be honest. And even coming into the match for myself, I wasn't very confident because obviously Drogheda have been doing pretty well. But that's four games without a win for Drogheda. They've had these kind of patches, haven't they, where they've gone 6 or 7 unbeaten, and then they've lost 5. So yeah, your overall thoughts?
Not good enough, Ush. Just simply not good enough. Not on it from the very well. To be honest with you, I wouldn't say we weren't on it from the very first minute, because honestly, I thought we were very good early on in the game. We hit the post. Dara Markey has a chance which he has got to score. You've got to put that one away, you know what I mean? And I think Finn Harps make a great block. 2 great blocks as well in that sort of, but he has to score it, you know what I mean? It's in the, he's got into a good area. It's a great ball across, which I actually thought in the first 15-20 minutes Dale Rooney was excellent, by the way. His speed was magnificent, and he was getting into the right areas. He was getting at the Harps defence, and he was giving them problems, and I think Harps were looking quite shaky early on, but I was happy enough with the first 15 minutes part that we just didn't put one of the chances away, and so I was happy enough at the start. But just from then, as soon as Markey misses, then it goes down the other end. It's a penalty, and that's a penalty all day. I'm not going to come on here and say it wasn't a penalty because it's a penalty. You know what I mean? You don't need to make that tackle, I don't think, to be quite honest, in the box. You know what I mean? I think the keeper's coming out. The keeper's a big lad. You know what I mean? He was probably going to save. He'd made some great saves before that, and the Drogheda defender pulls him down, you know what I mean? And you're just seriously, against the run of play, you felt really unlucky, but not from then on. Then Finn Harps were excellent, absolutely excellent, and Drogheda just went on it, not good enough. I don't really know what to say. I was very disappointed, to be honest. It just wasn't good enough from Drogheda. And I've always given Drogheda credit, because they have been very good this season. And they're in a great position in the league. They still are in a great position in the league. The result won't affect them too much with where they are in the league, but that's not good enough. That performance isn't good enough. It just simply isn't good enough. And if you put that level of a performance in this league against any opposition, then you'll be bet, and you'll be bet well, and you'll be bet comfortably, because it was a comfortable win for Finn Harps. And not good enough from Drogheda, but fair play to Finn Harps. Great 3 points for them, and lifts them off the bottom. Because they would have been obviously not going into this game. They had to win it. Do you know what I mean? It was a must win. It was a must not lose, and they won the game, and a great 3 points, and they won it quite comfortably and convincingly. So, great win for them. But yeah, Drogheda's performance just was not good enough, and they really got to react now against Shells next week, because it's going to be another big game, I think.
Yeah, it's a big match, and there 4 points between the two teams. And also, it's a bottom 4 kind of playing each other. The Harps are playing UCD and Shells and Drogheda. But JP, Obviously Harps on their side, it's a good result for them, as Luke mentioned, and obviously Drogheda kind of been their bogey team last season. The only team they didn't beat. It's good to get one over them, considering they had a chance in the reverse fixture up in the end of the game park where Harps were 1-0 up, and then it all changed. Then with the 3 goals and so on. Even Drogheda were down to 10 men, which is it's hard to believe. JP, your well thoughts on that there? It's kind of UCD. It's kind of this Friday night is going to be a big match, for UCD. I wouldn't be saying, I wouldn't be getting too excited now, thinking, Harps are going to catch Drogheda now. There's still 12 points between the two sides, So I think it's more kind of, it's really kind of the battle kind of could be on now. Friday night will be a big match for the two teams at the bottom. JP, your thoughts on the one for Harps?
When did you say Harps' last one was, Josh?
I think it was start of July, what I can remember.
No.
June. Was it
April?
June?
It was the 29th of April.
There you are, right.
So
there you are. Shelburne. It was, so it was actually 12, yeah. It was 12.
McNamee scored it, so
12 matches, apologies.
Fantastic one for Van Harps. I said in the preview show that I couldn't see it coming, to be honest. I just thought Drogheda would have too much for them. Luke was at United Park, or Head in the Game Park, on Monday. They watched UCD, and he said that early on Drogheda could have been out of sight, but after that UCD deserved their point, and maybe it was a follow-on from that game, this performance for Drogheda, who knows. But look, you have to give all credit to Van Harps. Like, they got the early goal. They got a goal just before half-time, which was probably crucial, because that changes the game plans for both teams, to be honest, but more so Drogheda, because they have to chase in the second half, and Eric McWoods gets one just before the hour, and at that point it's game over, and a much needed 3 points for Van Harps, considering that the result that UCD got on Monday night against Drogheda. So it sets it up nicely for the game next Friday in the UCD Bowl, which is very crucial, like especially for Van Harps if they want to avoid the automatic relegation. I think they have to go there and not lose, because between now and the end of the season, I can't see UCD picking up many ones against the rest of the league, to be honest. Van Harps has pulled that performance out of the bag from absolutely nowhere, and that's the kind of Van Harps that we've come to know over the last 3 or 4 years. That when the chips are down and you think everything's against them, they pull a result out of the bag, and that's exactly what they've done here. And I think they're more capable of doing that over the next 11, 12 games than what UCD are. So I think Van Harps, if they can go to UCD and win on Friday night, it'll be a massive victory for them. It'll give them a 5-point cushion or a 4-point cushion. And that at this stage of the season, for these two teams who are struggling to get wins, that would be an enormous cushion, to be honest with you. They have to back up that one against Drogheda, because there's no point beating Drogheda and then going to UCD Bowl and getting beat. They literally have to back up that one now with a point at least. I didn't see it coming, to be honest with you, but that's that's what Van Harps have been. That's what they've been doing over the last couple of years. Except this year, they beat Shelburne, didn't kick on from it. Beat Shelburne again, didn't kick on from it. Yeah. They want to avoid automatic relegation, because I can't see them avoiding the playoff at this stage. The only way I see them avoiding the playoff is automatic relegation. Then they have to back this one up. For Drogheda, maybe it'll be a wake up call. The last two performances, they've got Shelburne next week. They've still got that 12-point cushion, which I don't think will be overturned. I don't think it will. But from a Drogheda point of view, they have to think that it can be, because they can't get too comfortable. And which we did speak of a few weeks back, that maybe there could come a point in the season where they might. Maybe these two results will be a wake-up call for them, and they'll be looking to head the Shelburne game now next week and back it up with a point at the very least. Like, because at this stage of the season, you don't really want to be giving the teams below you any momentum or any confidence and if you start to see a team below you build a bit of momentum, it can sometimes creep a bit of negativity and your own performances. So huge dent in Drogheda, because if Drogheda went up there and won, that was game over for Harps and UCD, and Drogheda were safe. But I still think Drogheda have enough to avoid the playoff. But I just think in their own mindsets they have to believe that everything's possible until it's impossible.
Yeah, that's it. And yeah, who knows what will happen? Obviously, I think I would agree with your point. Drogheda kind of looking above, up the table rather than down. Only what I think it's 9 points. I think off fourth place. Like, and obviously fourth place doesn't guarantee Europe. Like, but
There's a chance.
Yeah, there's a chance. There's always a chance. I'm sure they'll be looking above, rather than below. It's been so long since Harps won a game, so I apologise for not knowing the last time they won was April. Can't believe that. Was that match too? Jesus. But anyway, we'll move on to the last match. Obviously, it's a good result for Harps, and as we said already, the match this coming Friday, with the 4 teams at the bottom is going to be crucial. And if Drogheda were to pick up a point there, they're only a point behind Shells in 7th. Any more thoughts there, Luke?
Yeah, no, look, I agree with you. This weekend is huge. I think the weekend that's coming. It's going to be a big weekend for the league, and that sort of bottom 4 basically. Well, I wouldn't really say Shells, but I'd more say for the bottom 3. The type of way I think. If Finn Harps can beat UCD, it's gonna give them a bit. That'll be 2 wins in a row, and when is the last time Finn Harps have done that? You know what I mean? Like it's been a long time. So if they can do that, like, that's gonna breed confidence into them, and they'll feel like they can take points off anyone and that. But they've got to go and do it. You know what I mean? There's no this talking about it. They've got to go and do it, and it's pretty simple. You know what I mean? And if they put in the performance they did the other night, they can win this game. But for Drogheda as well, it's a home to Shells. You know what I mean? It's always a good atmosphere when we play Shells at home. You know what I mean? And look, every game this season's been great atmosphere, but we need to. I think the fans really need to get behind the team and stick with them and really get behind them for this game and see where it can take us.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, we went to the last match, which happened today on Sunday. It was between Bows and Sligo in the showgrounds. The game ended 2-1 to Sligo, and they turned it round. Obviously, Bows hitting the front with John O'Sullivan in the first half. He done very well. Actually, it was a good goal, and obviously went into the break then with a 1-0 cushion, and then obviously Sligo bring on the man who's been scoring a good few goals over the past few weeks in Europe and so on. Max Mata, he scored against Motherwell, as we know, and he came on and he scores 2 goals and takes the game away from Bows, and the same old Bows. They have a 1-0 cushion or whatever it is, 2-0, and then the second half they surrendered. We've seen an improvement. There's no there's no point saying it hasn't. We've seen an improvement with Bows since the break. Obviously they brought in was it 9 players or whatever, and they've made a bit of a got a bit of momentum. Obviously brought in Afolabi there recently. He only came on there for the last 10 minutes. Yeah, Bows fans will be heading back in the train now up to Dublin tonight, and they'll not be fairly happy. Max Mata just comes on, and I think, to be honest, what I heard in my Sligo they kind of deserved it in the second half. Bows just kind of stopped playing, and it's a good result for Sligo now. Obviously, they're a point or 3 points ahead. Sorry, of Bows, and had Bows won that, it would have been. It would have been, they would have been on their toes. So, your thoughts on that there, JP? See Bows, same old Bows.
Hi, same old Bows. When I saw Bows taking the lead, it was no surprise to me. Obviously, didn't see this game at all, but when I saw that they had taken the lead, it's kind of no surprise to me, because Sligo they haven't performed well off the back of Europe at all this season. I think they've lost all the games that when they played on the Thursday, they'd come back and then they'd lost the game on the Sunday. So
Certain that, yeah.
I thought that's deja vu as far as Sligo were concerned. But fair play to them, they got back in the game really quickly, and then they got a quick fire second, which probably knocked the stuffing out of Bows. This was a huge game for both these teams. Like as we said in the preview, this was a chance for one of these two. They land a knockout punch in the battle for fourth, or put a glove on them or whatever. But with the Pats and Sales game being called off, both these teams knew that a win was going to move them within a point of Pats with the same number of games played, and Sligo took the opportunity, because they've performed so well in Europe this year. They've had, it was 3 wins out of 5 matches or something, which is a fantastic record to have. And the one thing they'll want to be back in Europe next year. And although the only way to guarantee that is they finish in 3rd place, but that looks beyond them. And the other way to give yourself a second chance is they finish in the top 4, because obviously they're already out of the cup. So the only other way they can get into Europe now is getting in the top 4 and hoping that one of the top 3 or win the cup. And fair play to them, they could have taken that goal by Bows and thought, oh, here we go again, but they got back up, they got on with it, and they got 2 goals and they won the game. And Max Mata, he's 6 goals now in the league, and he scored a few important goals in Europe as well for them. So they've 2 good strikers, I think. They've Aidan Keena, who's the top goal scorer in the league, and Max Mata. So Sligo, really good result for them. We know they've got the second leg on Thursday night against Viking, and unfortunately that's just a formality, unless there's some mysterious miracle happens on Thursday night. But look, fair play to them, they get this far into Europe, and hopefully they can use this result now as a catalyst for the rest of their league form and domestic form, and kick on and give a good push for that top 4 position.
Yeah, and that's it then. I've seen a joke on Twitter there, Bows having the European hangover, just, and traveling away in Berlin. But yeah, it'll be a bit disappointing for Bows. They had a lot of travelling support up, and even just the second goal that Mata scored, was sloppy defending. It was a header out. I think it was Josh Carey headed it out, and it was just straight to Mata. It was a poor header, and that was 66 minutes in. So there still was a chance to get a goal back. But yeah, it'll be very, very disappointing. Once again, it's just this must be so frustrating. For the both fans and letting it go. Even though they brought in the new players and the likes. But Luke, what are you thinking of that?
Yeah, look, I think we mentioned about Bows and having that funny thing of having nearly a new squad. They basically, it's a lot of new players in, and they're nearly got a bit of a bounce because of that. They got a few results, in a row and that. But this is a bit of a reality check for them that they're probably still, a level off probably the top 4, 5, that type of way. I think there is still a level that they've got to try and get to. I don't think they're quite at it yet. They've made some decent signings, John O'Sullivan, who got a great goal. By the way, I actually watched most of the game. I watched in and out. I was watching it, but I think it was a decent game. The first half it was quiet enough. A few yellow cards. I actually think Liam Burt got the strangest yellow card of probably the season. I don't know if any of you see that. He left.
I've read about it. Yeah.
Yeah, he left to go to the toilet and he never told the ref. I think, anyways, because he came back on and he got a yellow card, even on the
field of play without the referee's permission.
Yeah, even on the stream, everyone was bewildered by it. I think the commentators couldn't believe it as well. It was funny, but probably the strangest yellow card he'll probably get in his career, to be fair. But look, decent result for Sligo. It's the first win they've had coming off Europe in a while, so this season. I mean, so like that's brilliant for them, you know, and it's going to give them confidence now because most likely out of the Conference League now, so they can sort of, you know, focus on the focus on the leagues, and try and, you know, get back into Europe, get into a position where they can achieve that. So yeah, good result for Sligo. Bows, I still think they're a level off, so they need to, you know, try and get there, but it's going to be tough, you know what I mean? I just don't think they've quite have the squad, you know what I mean? They've got a lot of new signings in that's, you know, got that they have to gel quick, you know what I mean? Because they're in the middle of the season, like, and the games are coming thick and fast. So, yeah, disappointing for them because they had a really good, like, 60 odd minutes, you know what I mean? And then they sort of just fell apart. And, you know, 2 goals in 4 or 5 minutes for Sligo won the game. So yeah, good 3 points for Sligo.
That's it, yeah, and you know, Bows will be looking over their shoulder too with Shelburne, just a point behind them, and you know, they picked up a one there against Drogheda this Friday, you know, and Bows were to drop points, whatever, you know, they're falling down the table, so now they need to keep an eye on both of them. You know, in regards to the European race, you know, there's obviously we said about the 4th place and so on, that's not kind of guaranteed, but obviously Pat's out of the cup and all too now, so you know, there's only 4 points between themselves and Bows in 6th place, like, so I mean it's heating up for that 4th place if it is to be needed, but you know, obviously Derry are kind of watch they're 8 points ahead, you know, from the, you know, 3rd place. So yeah, no, it'll be heating up over the next few weeks, and yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see. It's a you know, this upcoming game week is you know, it's big for a lot of reasons, really, to be honest. You know, obviously Derry are playing.
I get both ends of the whole way through.
It's hasty weekend.
Derry and Bows and Dundalk, and then Derry and Shamrock Rovers, Pats and Sligo. So yeah, no, it's definitely going to be a very interesting week to keep an eye on. But Keith probably you 2 lads will be on for the preview show. But yeah, no, that's basically it, lads. That's 3 matches. 3 matches reviewed, and yeah, obviously we'll have the preview coming up over the next few days. So yeah, thanks lads for coming on.
Cheers.
Cheers lads.